Hi, you guys, Erin here. I am making this video in response to the abundance of messages that I have received over the last year or so about my moon rituals. And this is because every time we have a new moon or a full moon, I make a post about it on Instagram and Facebook, just kind of going over the influences that we're going to be receiving for that particular celestial event. And at the end of these posts, as just for an example, I'll say something along the lines of, for this new moon, or for my new moon ritual, my new moon in Virgo ritual, I will be carrying this stone and using this herb and that sort of thing. And people seem to want to know more about this, and it's just not something I can respond with a quick little message. So that's what this video is about. And it's also, this information is very powerful. It's complicated, but it's powerful, and it's magic that works. Okay, I do not preach about anything that I have not experienced for myself, and I've experienced moon manifestations time and time and time again, and I've also gotten really good feedback from a lot of clients that I offer them this information to. So that being said, just bear with me. I feel like I'm probably going to lose people's interest within the first few minutes of this video because, again, it can seem a little overwhelming. But if you're anything like me, sometimes it takes me 10 times of watching a video before the information actually processes. Same with reading a book. Sometimes I got to read it a few times to understand what the heck it's talking about. So the other thing I wanted to mention too is that I am using Western astrology. I'm using a Placidus natal chart. And I will say that I can't speak for all forms of astrology, but all the forms of astrology that I've worked with, they all work, okay? They all just kind of influence different parts of our life in a sense. There's Chinese astrology, there's Vedic astrology. Okay, I'm working with Western astrology, and that's just what I vibe with, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm actually gonna pull up, I'm gonna share my screen with you and show you what the zodiac will look like for our upcoming new moon, okay? And it doesn't matter when you're watching this video. You could be watching it 5 years from now. You could be watching it yesterday. Same information. I'm using this coming full new moon as an example to work with, okay? But this information applies to every new moon, full moon cycle. Okay, so this right here is the zodiac, okay? And all these little symbols right here on the outside of it are the signs for each zodiac sign, okay? Like we'll start down here. This is Aries, this is Taurus, this is Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, okay? And generally speaking, you're gonna find these signs on the outer ring of the zodiac, okay? And so this is actually specifically the zodiac for, if you can follow my mouse, I'm running over the date here, October 16th of 2020 at 12:31 p.m. And this is for Pacific time, okay? Because I'm in California, but it's gonna manifest at a different time depending on the time zone that you live in. So that's easy to just do a quick internet search to find out what time is the new moon, where I live, that sort of thing. Okay, so the energy that we're gonna be focusing on here is right here. And this is our new moon energy. What happens when we have a new moon is the sun, this is the symbol for the sun, and the moon, this is the symbol for the moon, meet in the same place, okay? And it's dark. It's a dark moon. We don't see the moon when it's a new moon, right? The sun and moon are together. When we have a full moon, they're opposite sides of the zodiac. The sun is on one side, the moon is on the other side, no matter where it is. If this is a symbol for Leo, if the sun is over here, then we're gonna have a full moon in the sign of Aquarius, which is opposite Leo. So new moons, they're together, full moons, they're opposite each other. Now, going back to this new moon energy right here, you can see that this says 23 degrees. The sun and the moon will be at 23 degrees. This right here is the symbol for Libra, okay? And the symbols they're all going to look the same, no matter what astrology software you're using, no matter what book you're using. Some of them might use different fonts that look a little bit, different, but for the most part, the symbols are going to look pretty much identical. So you know that this is the symbol for Libra. So we know that we're having a new moon that takes place at 23 degrees Libra, and to get more specific, 53 minutes, okay? So what new moons mean is new beginnings, it's like opportunity for new growth. And we can kind of fine tune where that new growth will develop, judging by the sign in which this new moon takes place. Okay, so again, this new moon happens to take place in the sign of Libra. Now, we almost always only get one new moon in Libra a year, one new moon in Scorpio a year, one new moon in Sagittarius a year, one full moon in Libra a year, one full moon in Scorpio a year, one full moon in Sagittarius a year. Sometimes we can end up getting 2 in a year, but as a general rule of thumb, we get one opportunity a year for each zodiac sign with the new moon manifestations. So this new moon in Libra, new beginnings that have to do with Libra energy. Okay, Libra, it's represented by the scales. It wants things to be balanced. It wants things to be fair. It wants justice, okay? And furthermore, Libra is ruled by Venus, which is the influencer of love. So this energy has a lot to do with relationships, partnerships, beauty, and charm. Charm is a major keyword for Libra energy, okay? So new beginnings that have to do with relationships, partnerships, charm, beauty, balance, harmony, that sort of thing, okay? We can manifest those things as a collective, all of us. In fact, I feel very confident in saying that, let's say somebody, had the passion and the drive to coordinate a mass meditation. Let's say just even like 10% of the world's population got together to manifest. They don't technically geographically have to be together, but at the time of the new moon, sit down for 10 minutes and meditate with the intention for more fairness and more justice in the world. I feel very confident in saying over that next 6 months, after we had that new moon in Libra mass meditation, hoping for more justice in the world, over the next 6 months, we would see more justice and fairness in the world, okay? And now, why did I say 6 months? That is because approximately 6 months after we have a new moon in a particular zodiac sign, we're gonna have a full moon in that particular zodiac sign. So we're having a new moon in the sign of Libra, October 16th, and approximately, it's actually going to be like 5.5 months later, we will have a full moon in Libra. It will actually be March 28th. We'll be having a full moon in Libra, okay? So that 6-month cycle that's when the energy grows. That's when the things we're trying to manifest new beginnings in grow, okay? So that's just the basic gist of it. And again, this is as a collective, this is as everybody, and we all get to experience this new moon in Libra together, right? One thing I'm just going to point it out right now. One of the most powerful tools that we have for manifesting things in our life is a journal, is to write what it is we're trying to manifest, okay? And personally, I think it's a little more powerful to use an actual pen and a piece of paper or a journal or whatever than it is to type it into your computer or your phone or anything like that. Not to say that that doesn't work. I do it all the time. Sometimes I find myself in a situation where I don't have my journal with me and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to manifest this. So I go and type it in my notes in my phone. Anywho, what we're doing when we're writing this out, we're casting spells. This is, you're spelling words. So you're casting spells out into the world. That's where focus goes, energy flows. So you're putting your focus and your intention into this thing that you're trying to manifest. You're casting the spell to make this thing grow. Okay, October 16th. And 6 months later, you get to go back to your journal and look to see how much of this actually came true. Okay, so there's that. Now, things are about to get a little bit tricky here. And I just hope that you can follow along as best as you can. I totally understand that this is going to kind of be overwhelming for some people. But what I'm about to do here, what I am doing here, is I'm pulling up my own personal natal chart. Call me brave, but the natal chart is a very personal thing. It's a very private thing for a lot of people. I kind of just personally feel that if everybody had a little bit of an understanding of astrology and everybody knew everybody's natal chart, we would have a much like things would just flow with a little more grace because we'd understand that everybody has their own little unique way of responding to things and that sort of thing. So I have no problem putting my natal chart out on blast. Okay, so this is my Placidus natal chart. Earth would be right here, again, right in the middle. When I was born, I would be right here. And this is where all the celestial bodies were when I took my first breath of air. And this is never, ever going to change. This is my Placidus natal chart as long as this lifetime goes on for me, okay? So what I'm doing is I'm looking for the sign of Libra because we're having a new moon in Libra. So we're going around the thing here. Where is that symbol for Libra? Where is it? We'll go through all these zodiac signs. Where's that Libra symbol? Oh, there it is, right on the top. And I know it's always going to be at the top. That's just, again, this is my natal chart for this entire lifetime. So I know Libra rules the top of my natal chart. Okay. And to get a little more specific here, Libra, this is a symbol for Libra. Libra rules where this yellow energy is. Okay. And there's 30 degrees in each zodiac sign. Okay. So right here would be 0 degrees Libra. Right here would be 30 degrees Libra. Right here, right where this line is in this little like sort of pie looking thing, this is called a cusp and it's 11 degrees Libra. Okay. So I know that this new moon is taking place at 23 degrees Libra. And basically what I want to do is I want to go between 30 degrees Libra and 11 degrees Libra to find 23. So I know the 23 degrees Libra is going to be about right here. It's going to be about right here and it's going to be in my 10th house. If it was at 3 degrees Libra, I would know that it would be before this 11 degrees Libra. It would be over here in my 9th house. Okay, houses. What am I talking about? Houses. Each little slice of pie here is called a house, okay? There's 12 of them. Just like there's 12 signs of the zodiac, there's 12 houses. See, here's the number 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way around to number 12. And they all represent different things. And what it is it's areas of our life where things manifest. So the 10th house, where this new moon in Libra manifests for me, the 10th house is the house of career and public life. Okay, so that being said, now I know, okay, so I'm manifesting these things that have to do with Libra energy, but they're going to grow through my career and my public life. Okay, so I want to manifest more charm into my career. I want to present myself with more beauty with my career. That's the things that I would want to write down for in my journal for manifesting with this particular new moon. Okay, now it's not going to be in everybody else's 10th house. For some people, Libra is going to be in the 11th house. For some people, it's going to be in the 12th. Some people, it's going to be in the 1st. Some people, it's going to be in the 2nd. And they all represent different things. If the new moon in Libra was manifesting in your 2nd house, like if this little symbol right here was Libra rather than Aquarius, then we'd know that the new moon in Libra is going to manifest in the 2nd house. The 2nd house is the house of money, possessions, and values. So you could be literally, if the new moon manifests in your 2nd house in the sign of Libra, you could be manifesting all kinds of new, beautiful things to actually possess, to own, things that you can actually materially possess. That's what the 2nd house is about. Or maybe just about changing your value system. You want to have a more beautiful value system. That would be 2nd house Libra energy. So again, I know that this is very complicated information for, especially if you're very new to it, but again, it's so powerful and it's unbelievable. Okay, so now what I'm actually going to show you real quick here is I'm going to show you that I know what I'm talking about, and I'm going to pull up my transits for the new moon. Okay, it actually should be in here already. Yeah, 10/16/2020. So October 16, 2020. Okay, boom. All right, now this inner ring right here is the exact same thing we were just looking at. This is my natal chart, except now it's smaller and it's inside of a bigger ring. Okay, so this bigger ring, this outer ring, is where the celestial bodies will be in accordance to my own natal chart on October 16th for this new moon. See, here we go. Here's the moon and there's the sun. They're together at 23 degrees in my 10th house. And furthermore, I can see that these green lines coming off of here, these tell me that there's opportunity to be made. If there was red lines coming off here, I might be like, I got some challenges coming up that involve this manifestation, but I know I can still do it. And sometimes challenges are even better because then you get to, you usually get rewarded for overcoming challenges. So this one for me is more about opportunity, which is great. I'm looking forward to this new moon. Okay. So that is basically the gist of that. Okay. And hopefully you guys are still with me here. Now we're going to talk about a little bit more deep stuff. Okay. So with these new moons, again, this is a 6-month cycle. What I'm trying to manifest have to do with my career and charm and beauty and relationships and all that sort of thing. I've got until March 28th to watch these things grow and manifest. If I really want to get serious about this, what I want to do is I want to start adding in some tools. Okay. And so each zodiac sign is dedicated a particular stone or birthstone. Some of them have more than one. Okay. And not only that, but they don't have to be that particular stone. If there's a certain stone, like labradorite is great for communication, but that's, and Gemini is the sign of communication. That being said, Gemini resonates really well with labradorite. Okay. But it's not actually, labradorite is not the dedicated birthstone for Gemini, but I know it will still work well with Gemini energy. Okay. So for this new moon in Libra, Libra's birthstone, the zodiacal birthstone for Libra is actually opal. Okay. And it just turns out I do have an opal. I have an opal ring that I was inherited from my grandmother. So when it's Libra season, but more specifically, when it's a new moon in Libra or a full moon in Libra, I want to put on my opal. I want to wear that opal so that I'm resonating well with the energies that I'm receiving from the heavens. Okay. But sometimes it happens where, like, Scorpio's birthstone is topaz, and I don't own any topaz. So what do I do when I have a new moon in Scorpio going on? It's really easy. There's like I said, there's like infinite amounts of stones that you can work with here. But the stones are going to help you. The stones are going to, like, again, like resonate with the energy, and it's all about intention. Okay, so the basic rule of thumb when it comes to stones is the darker stones. This is black tourmaline and this is shungite. Okay. They're both very protective stones. In fact, when I'm using any of my electronic devices, I keep this black tourmaline in front of me to help protect me from weird radiation coming off of my devices or whatever. Shungite, this one I actually like to put in my water. But these are dark stones, and generally speaking, the dark stones are going to provide you with more protection. And we're a vessel. This body is a vessel, and it can become vulnerable to energies that we don't necessarily want in or around us. So that's what these are for, to protect me from that. And I love to use them for my new moon rituals. Now, this right here is clear crystal quartz. This is not necessarily going to provide me with protection, but it is going to amplify the energies around me, not only my energies, but the energies from the heavens. It's going to amplify my connection to the heavens. It's going to make that communication between myself and the moon a little stronger. And I'm also protected over here. And then furthermore, I've also got the opal to just resonate even more with that Libra new moon energy. So really the point is that, again, it's about intention. It's really about intention. But if you just so happen to, you don't have to use any stones. You don't have to use any of that stuff. But if you feel like it, or, if you have access to these things, it can be, again, it can just kind of make things more powerful. You could go pick a stinking rock off of your, front yard and work with that. That's connected to earth. Okay. That's helping your energy become just in line. In fact, that leads me into the next thing I want to say. The next most important thing for me is that I make sure that I'm touching earth for these new moon rituals. Preferably both of my feet on the ground, and also preferably on, say, like sand or just dirt or rocks, or even better, like in a creek, like in some running water. But it's kind of best to avoid like a fresh, nice green grass. You wouldn't necessarily want to be standing on something that's so alive and that already needs that energy. You want to be standing on the earth, like I said, sand or stones, or just Earth, okay? And what that does is actually connects you to Earth, and then you're receiving negative ions from the Earth. We're constantly receiving positive ions from the sun, from the heavens, and it's like a battery. The battery needs the negative and the positive charge to work. So we want to be receiving both negative and positive ions. That's why it's so important. And it doesn't have to be your feet. There's been a few times where it's been way too cold for me to be putting my bare feet on the ground. And I just make sure that I've got like at least one finger, two fingers, one on each side, touching earth. Or maybe just sit your butt down on the ground. If you can, have a naked butt touching the earth, that might be well too, or work well too. But basically, it's just the point is that you want to be touching earth for this process. Now, again, I already mentioned the journal. That's number one. That's rule number one. Whatever you're trying to manifest, whether it be with a moon ritual or whatever, writing it down is the first place to start. Now, getting a little deeper into things, we can also recognize that each zodiac sign rules a specific part of our body, okay? So Libra actually rules the kidneys, okay? So for this new moon in Libra, let's say I want to put some focus on cleaning out my kidneys. It's a great idea. It just works. I love it so much. It's so powerful. So what are some things to help my kidneys? Something called uva ursi. Okay, you could get it in a tincture or whatever. Uva ursi is a great detoxifying agent for your kidneys. Or horsetail is another really powerful one. Just do a quick internet search. I mean, even just activated charcoal, or just, it doesn't even have to be activated, just charcoal. Something that helps cleanse your kidneys for this new moon in the sign of Libra. Okay, so again, I didn't mean to just make this whole video about a new moon in Libra, but I'm just happening to focus on the one that we have coming up here. And also, I completely understand that this is a lot of information to process, and that's what I'm here for. And that's what astrologers are here for. So if you have questions and you want to learn more about this, feel free, you go to my website, is erinwageastrology.com, or send me an email at erinwageastrology@gmail.com. That's ERINWAAGE astrology.com or at gmail.com. And yeah, my website, you can see my prices for readings there. This kind of thing, like let's say you've never heard of this stuff before, and you're watching this video and you're like, I would like to know where the next new moon that's coming up, where it's going to manifest in my natal chart. That's just a 15-minute reading. 15-minute reading is just $33. And not only that, but if somebody's really going through some serious financial struggles, I'm willing to work with you, because that's how strongly I feel that this stuff needs to be utilized. It's such a gift. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I really hope that made sense to you guys. And yeah, until next time, namaste to all of you.